Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Clay Campbell, the track president of Martinsville Speedway. That, of course, is where NASCAR is heading next in the final round for the round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Plus, you're also going to have some modifieds there this weekend, too. So, first off, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Casey. Appreciate you having me. It's always good to be on your show and talk to you.
All right. We got a jam-packed week this week in Martinsville, but I know a few weeks ago we just had one of the biggest late model races in the country with the Valley Star 300. How did that go for you guys?
That was a great weekend. Great race. We had 93, 94 entries for it. It was a super race, a lot of side-by-side action. Peyton Sellers came home with the victory, which was pretty cool. Kind of a local guy with a Clarence's Steakhouse car, which is just down the road. It was a great race, great weekend, and we're looking for the same thing this week.
Yep, of course. We got two races this weekend with the Cup Series and with the Xfinity 500, and then the Xfinity Series as well. How exciting is it to have both those series? This series there this weekend. Plus, we got some modifieds as well.
Yeah. You look at the entirety of the weekend, 3 races. So we start out Thursday night with the Virginia Racing Lovers 200, and that's a Wheeling Modified Tour. You've got 4 guys running for that championship, and this is their championship event. So this is it for that series. 13 points separate the top 4. So that's going to be incredible.
Now, preview that championship for a second. 4 guys.
Yeah.
Separated by just 13 points. It's going to be insane. It's just going to be like the ARCA championship we had a few weeks ago at Toledo.
Yeah, it's incredible. The modifieds always put on a great show here. Fans love the modified series. We do. They go way back in our 75-year history, how long they've been running here, how much they have meant to the track. So we look forward to Thursday night, but then you mentioned it, the Dead on Tools Xfinity race. Dead on Tools 250 on Saturday afternoon. Same thing. This is their last race before they go to Phoenix for the championship. And then we cap it off with the big one, the Xfinity 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series, the penultimate race in the playoffs, coming here with the round of 8, and they leave with 4. So I think that pretty well says it all.
Yep, it does. This is this track's 75th anniversary. This is the track that has been on every year that the NASCAR schedule has been on. What is it? What is this place like going in there? It's the paperclip. This place has been in your family for such a long time. To see it last this long, what's that like?
I think it's pretty phenomenal. I think it speaks for what Martinsville Speedway is all about, what the folks here have done, starting with my grandfather and the staff and team that we have here now. It's just incredible to go that long. And I think for a fan to come in here, if you had an aerial shot in 1947 of what this place looked like, the track itself is identical to what it was in 1947. Everything else has changed around it, and obviously it's concrete and asphalt now, but that's how we've been able to maintain the history and the tradition and all of that. The track remains the same style of racing that fans have expected year in and year out when they come here, and we're just looking for another great weekend this weekend.
Yep. First off, and I always like to ask this to any track president I talk to, what you got planned for the fans this weekend?
Well, besides what's happening on the track, 3 great days and nights of racing, which is, going to be superb. And I say it time and time again, when a fan gets here, he or she's going to have something to do, see, participate in from the time they get here till the time they leave. We got so many things planned. We put so much focus on our guest experience once they get here. The midway is going to be bustling with entertainment. There's something on stage practically all day Saturday and Sunday. We got a Ferris wheel for, that people just like to sit back, ride, and take a look at things while they're way atop the property here. Concerts going on, driver appearances. If you look at a schedule of what we have from the very beginning of race weekend till the end, you say, my gosh, it's something every minute, and it really is.
And of course, we always have to take, there's lots of stuff to do. But we also have to take care of our youngest guests as well. What do you got planned for the kids this weekend?
We have a huge kid zone. The kids will have a great time, all kinds of things for them to see and do, interactive things. And I mentioned the Ferris wheel. And these things are free. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. That's one thing we wanted to bring back for that reason, because kids are so important to what we have here at Martinsville. That's our fan of tomorrow, number one. But secondly, we want to get them engaged with NASCAR, and NASCAR does an outstanding job at what they provide for kids, their entertainment. So, once the family gets here, the kids probably going to be pulling on mom and dad's arm the whole time, wanting to do this or wanting to do that. Hey, that's cool. That's what we want. Mission accomplished if that's the case.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, there's two things that a lot of people talk about Martinsville and their history. Of course, you got the train tracks literally right by you guys, but you also have actually a couple more things. You got the famous Martinsville hot dogs, and then the trophy, which of course is for many people that may not be familiar with this track. Of course, you award every driver a grandfather clock.
Yeah, and I think that's really special, and that's something Granddaddy started years ago in 1964. Wanted to get something different than just a regular trophy or a cup that sits around and collects dust. The manufacturing facility for the clock is just 3 miles down the road, or was at that time. So he came up with the idea of getting a grandfather clock, figured that would make the wife happy, and put it in a prominent place in the house. And I think you see now some of the drivers, they will tweet it the next day or a week later where they're putting it in the house once they win it. So I think it's probably the most coveted trophy in all of motorsports. And, wouldn't you like to be at Richard Petty's house when all of them go off every 15 minutes? That would be crazy. But that's what that place is. That's what the clock's all about.
Yeah. But going into this weekend, it's going to be pressure pack. This is the race that decides not just the Final Four for the Cup Series we'll head to Phoenix. Of course, they'll decide the four and we'll also decide what four drivers will compete for the Xfinity title next week at Phoenix. Two great championship races, and a better place to have them than like a good old short track at Martinsville.
Absolutely. I think that just speaks volumes for what NASCAR intends to do with this playoff, the penultimate race here. It's an exciting race all the time, and I think with the high stakes that we have for this weekend, you're going to see a good race.
Yeah, of course. It should be fun to experience as well, and we're going to have a great time watching it. Clay Campbell from Martinsville Speedway, the track president there. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and have a fun weekend. And should be fun with the Wheeling Modified Tour, which is also their championship race, the NASCAR Xfinity Series and Cup Series, which will both be on NBC this weekend. So fun stuff there. All right, Clay, thank you so much, and enjoy this weekend.
Thank you, Casey.